This September 18th, 2025 meeting of the Dublin City Council is hereby called to order. I'd ask everyone to please stand for the pledge to the flag. But before that, we'll have our invocation. Ms. Jackie Curtis will provide our invocation. Please remain standing after the invocation for the pledge to the flag. Thank you, Ms. Curtis.
You're welcome.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for this day. What a great day it is to be a citizen of Dublin, Lawrence County. We ask you now, God, to be with us today as we discuss the business of your city. We ask you, God, for clear minds and humble hearts. Thank you, God, for an opportunity to live and work in such a wonderful community. We ask these things in your name, God. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Curtis, for providing the invocation and for your work with the KWG Resource Center. I know that I guess it was about almost 2 years ago now that the city contracted with communities and schools under your leadership to provide services to the community through the KWG Resource Center. And glad to see you still out there working for the community. All right, we'll now move to item number 1 on the agenda, which is the approval of the September 4th, 2025 City Council meeting minutes. Council members have those meeting minutes in your packet. Are there any requests for revisions? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve from Councilman Jones, a second from Councilman Godfrey. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. We'll now move to item number 2 on the agenda, which is approval of bills over $15,000. Those bills were in your packet. Are there any questions for staff regarding those bills? If not, do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Mascara and a second from Councilman Griggs to approve the bills over $15,000. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We'll now move to item number 3, which is approval of purchases over $15,000. We have one purchase over $15,000. Mr. Powell, will you please go through that for us?
Sure. This is for some inventory for the water construction for our water department. This is largely as a result of a significant water line break we had on Highway 257. The supplies and materials are itemized in the quote from Ferguson Waterworks that we're recommending you approve. They're out of Macon and are one of our regular suppliers. And the total amount of the purchase is $15,613.36, and we ask that you approve that purchase. That's the only purchase for today.
All right, and we discussed this with staff at pre-council. Are there any additional questions regarding this purchase? If there are no additional questions, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion to approve from Councilman Griggs, a second from Councilman Colby. Any discussion on the motion? With no discussion on the motion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any are opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We'll now move to item number 4 on the agenda, which is a first reading of an ordinance to amend the Fire Protection Code. I think this is an important ordinance for continued development in our community, especially in our historic districts. Mr. Powell, will you please do the first reading of this ordinance?
Sure. Give me just 1 second. This is ordinance 2514, an ordinance by the mayor and council of the city of Dublin, Georgia, to amend the code of ordinances of the city of Dublin by deleting section 10-40 of article 3 of chapter 10 entitled Rules and Regulations for Commercial Buildings in its entirety, and inserting a new section 1040 entitled Rules and Regulations for Commercial Buildings in lieu thereof, to update the code section, provide for severability, repeal all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict therewith, provide an adoption and effective date, and for other lawful purposes. This section of our code, it has to do with life safety and fire inspector related requirements for developments, and there's a provision of state law that allows for a local government to adopt an article of state law that will allow for alternative minimum requirements for particularly historic buildings in our historic corridor, to be a little bit more flexible for that, to help preserve the historic nature of buildings in our historic district. And so that is the impetus behind this particular recommendation for this ordinance. Some of the things that are affected by this and will allow for some alternative areas include the number of required exits, distances to exits, exterior stairways, and protection of openings in the exterior walls. This is a first reading of this ordinance, and so staff, the next reading will be, and public hearing will be at our next meeting.
All right, and I do want the public to know that our fire chief and our fire inspector have reviewed this ordinance and have approved it as far as its adequate protection of life safety measures. So it will allow our city council to adopt alternative life safety measures, which will allow these buildings in our historic district to be redeveloped and renovated consistent with the historical looks while still maintaining life safety. So again, there will be a public hearing on this ordinance on October the 2nd, after which council may proceed to a vote on it. We'll now move to item number 5 on the agenda, which is the second reading and public hearing of an ordinance to amend our zoning code for RV parks. Before we enter into let's do the second reading and the public hearing, and then we'll take a motion on it. So will you please do the second reading?
Sure. This is ordinance number 2510, an ordinance by the mayor and city council of the city of Dublin, Georgia, to amend the code of ordinances of the city of Dublin, Georgia by amending Appendix A zoning to provide comprehensive regulations for the safe and orderly development of recreational vehicle parks in the city of Dublin and for other lawful purposes.
Okay, so I do want to say that in our pre-council meeting, it was the consensus of council to hear any public comments that anyone has on this measure today through a public hearing, and then not vote on it today, but instead take those comments into consideration for later amendments. So at this time, we will close our city council meeting and open a public hearing. So if there's anyone who would like to comment on this proposed RV park ordinance, now is your opportunity to provide comment. Is there anyone who would like to make comments regarding this? I think we have, all right, anybody? Okay. So we just wanted to make sure that the public had a full opportunity to discuss this matter and provide any feedback to us. I'll now close the public hearing, having received no comments, and turn this matter to council for action.
Make a motion that we postpone this to the next meeting.
Okay.
Vote.
All right, so we have a motion to postpone this to our next meeting.
It'll need to be to the
October.
second meeting in October.
So be October.
Be able to meet the advertising requirements for another.
The second meeting in October, I'm sorry.
All right, so there's a motion on the floor to postpone this item until the October 16th. Is that right? Let's get the actual
That's
date.
the meeting.
Yes.
The October 16th City Council meeting. We have a second from Councilman Mascara. Any discussion on the motion?
We are, and we're doing this to get more information so we can have a better idea and understanding of why we're doing this.
Yep. Any other comments from council members? All right, and if there's anyone in the public who wants to provide feedback on that, there'll still be an opportunity at the October 16th meeting to provide additional feedback. So at this time, we have a motion and a second to postpone the vote on this to October 16th. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. So there will be an additional reading and public hearing at the October 16th council meeting, followed by a vote. We'll now move to item number 5 on the agenda, which is a second reading and public hearing on an ordinance to amend, let's see, I'm sorry. That was number 5. We're now at number 6. This is a second reading and public hearing to amend the FY25 budget. Mr. Powell.
This is ordinance 2511, an ordinance by the mayor and council of the city of Dublin to amend the budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025, to provide for an effective date and for other purposes. Section 1 addresses the previously adopted revenues and appropriations of the city and set those at $95,364,169. This amendment will change both the revenues and appropriations of the city to $95,364,169.
Okay. So again, state law requires that we have this budget amendment for our general special revenue and capital projects funds.
Sorry, I read the wrong numbers. Thank you. The new number is $87,119,745. I knew that wasn't right.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's why Blake was over there.
What's going on?
All right, so our treasurer, Blake Daniels, has put together this budget amendment to keep us in compliance with state requirements. This is part of the process for completing our FY25 audit. Do you have any comments at this time? Okay. Thank you for your work on this. I know that we've discussed it extensively and appreciate all you've done to keep us in compliance. At this time, we need to have a public hearing on this, so I'll close the city council meeting and open the floor for any comments or discussion. Is there anyone who would like to comment on the ordinance adopting an amended FY25 budget? This is your opportunity. All right, no one wants to comment, so I will close the public hearing and turn this matter to council for action.
Make a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Griggs to approve the amended budget. We have a second from Councilman Jones. Does this require a roll call vote? So we need a roll call vote. Are you handling that, Mr. Daniels? All right.
Councilman Jones,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dockery,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colby,
Yes.
Councilman Griggs,
Yes.
Councilman Muscat.
Yes.
Ordinance passes.
All right, ordinance passes. Thank you for that. And we'll now move to item number 7. Item number 7 is the second reading and public hearing on an ordinance related to how the city authorizes its fees and provides those to the public. So, Mr. Powell, will you please do the second reading, then we'll have our public hearing.
This is Ordinance 2512, an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Dublin, Georgia, to establish authority to create a fee schedule by resolution for the City of Dublin, to provide for severability, to repeal all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, provide an adoption and effective date, and for other lawful purposes. This ordinance is quite lengthy if anybody has looked at it or picked it up, and it goes through our code and identifies anywhere that a fee is established. And instead of having the fee listed in the ordinance, which is in many, many sections all through our code and sometimes very cumbersome to find, it replaces the fee with a comment that the fee can be established by resolution of the council. And later on this agenda, there's an item that is the resolution that will establish all the fees and have them in one document that's just the fees, and it will be a lot easier for both staff and council to review as well as the public whenever they want to inquire about what our fees are. There are some fees that are difficult to set a firm amount, and so there's some provision for some of the fees to be established by the Office of the City Manager, and those will be determined on a case-by-case basis. But for a large part, the fees are established in that resolution, which is a few items down on this agenda.
All right, so this has been a big project of our legal department to pull these out for greater public transparency of our fees and easier access for staff and for council members to understand all the fees through the City of Dublin. That was the second reading of that ordinance. Now is the time for a public hearing. So we'll close the City Council meeting and open this matter for public comment. Is there anyone from the public who would like to make a comment regarding this proposed ordinance? All right, if there's no one who would like to make a comment, we will now close the public hearing and turn this matter over to council for action. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Griggs and a second from Councilman Mascara. Any discussion on the motion?
Yes, I would like to ask Mr. Joshua Howell, where will the constituents find these fees? Because like if they're doing a permit for a house, I know they would go to our, can you think?
Inspections?
Yes. So is it gonna be one location for them to find it online?
They'll be on
All the fees?
they'll be on our website. They'll also be on the Municode website. All our resolutions are on there,
Okay.
as well as the city clerk is responsible for keeping all of our documents and contracts and things, and they'll be on file in the office of the city clerk.
And that makes it easier for them to find as well?
I mean, as well as departments will have,
Right. They're
within the
all
city,
in.
they'll have their section pulled out that's relevant to them.
And we talked about a roadmap for them, right?
Right.
Like
We do. Yes. Well, we've been working with the chamber and the Downtown Development Authority and the Economic Development Authority on starting a new business in Dublin,
Right.
both for downtown because there's a little bit. There are additional things to consider when starting a business downtown versus the rest of Dublin. And we have that brochure that we are finalizing now, and we'll have kind of a checklist of things for people to check on before they start a new business. And these fees will be, part of that as well.
All right, any other comments or questions? And, just for the public's benefit, this is the ordinance. And so if you currently are trying to find a fee, there's no one place to go to it. You would have to go to the MuniCode site, which is a website with the entire code of the city of Dublin, and then search it until you found the area that you were interested in doing something, and then have to read through it and see what the fee might be. So now what happens is all that has gotten pulled out of this really long code of ordinances and pulled into a fee sheet. So if you want to know what the fee is, you just have to get the fee sheet, and so it's a lot easier for the public to know what the fee is for any particular thing. The other thing that it does, in my opinion, that's helpful is that it makes us more aware of what the fees are without us as council members having to dig through and find it out. And so if we need to adjust something, previously if we wanted to adjust a fee, we would have to do an ordinance change, which would require 2 meetings, public hearing, publication, all this type of work, and then it would only apply to that one little ordinance. Now if we see the fee's too high, or maybe we need an additional fee, we can just do that through resolution, and we have greater flexibility for responding to the public in that way. So just wanted to make those comments, and if there are any other comments, all right, if not, do we have a motion?
Make a motion.
But you got a motion in a
Yeah,
second.
we
We already have the motion in a
Roll
second,
call.
that's right. All right, so now it's the roll call vote. Mr. Daniels?
Councilman Jones.
Yes.
Councilwoman Godfrey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Calder.
Yes.
Councilman Griggs.
Yes.
Councilman Mascaro.
Yes.
Ordinance passes.
All right, and this will be a companion ordinance to the next 2 ordinances, so we'll move to item number 8, which is the second reading and public hearing on an ordinance regarding a new parks, recreation, and public spaces ordinance. Mr. Powell.
This is ordinance 2513, an ordinance by the mayor and city council of the city of Dublin, Georgia, to repeal chapter 15 entitled Parks and Recreation, to provide for a new chapter 15 titled Parks, Recreation, and Public Spaces, to provide for severability, to repeal all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, provide an adoption and effective date, and for other lawful purposes. The current chapter 15 that's in our code hails from the day when we had a separate Dublin city-run rec department, and there are a lot of the provisions in there that are not applicable anymore. This new chapter 15 will provide for some regulations related to our city parks and their facilities, as well as provides for and addresses permits for special events and how those are to come about, and provides a framework for having a special event in the city of Dublin.
All right, so thank you for that. As most people know, the city entered into agreement with the Rec Authority to take back the management of our local neighborhood parks. As part of that, Nicole has been working with us as our new parks director to put up some reasonable rules and permitting processes and just overall park rules for our city parks. And, she comes to us with a lot of experience from, I believe it was Brunswick that you worked in, and has been very helpful in trying to get us up and running as a new Dublin Parks Department. So this is part of putting into the ordinance some of those regulations regarding the use of that park space. Do we have?
Everyone know her.
Do you
She just waved.
actually, do you
wave
mind
at people.
just so that people know who you are, put a face to it, do you mind coming up and just introducing yourself?
Yeah, 'cause I don't think she
Put you on the spot.
Right. My name's Nicole Simmons. I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where my career started with Parks and Recreation. I hail here from Brunswick, Georgia, where I spent my last 8 years overseeing Selden Park, and just kind of coming up with programs, daily programs, evening programs, monthly, yearly, as well as just coming up with some new projects, turning one facility into a museum there. as well as multiple projects that took place within the Brunswick or Glenn County Parks and Recreation Department. So.
All right, well, yes.
Can you introduce that gentleman in the back there? He's
Oh,
great.
not too. If I get put on the spot, he does.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
This is our Parks Center attendant, Dennis Owls. If you want to, where you hail from?
Hi, my name is Dennis Schausch. From the Atlanta area. Moved down here just to finish my degree at Broome Parker. And I was working there as well, and I seen that there was no growth, so I seen an application for a park attendant, and I wanted to work for the city, and Cole took me in, and I've been here for 2 months, and I'm just excited just to be here, moving to the city as well, September 20th, and I just want to be more and just upgrade the parks department and the kids as well, because it's all about the future.
Soccer man.
All right.
All right. Yes, tell about the soccer.
Yes, I played college all my 4 years, and I went semi-pro, and I almost went pro as well, but I tore my ACL, so it's okay. But I'm just here, just trying to bring my knowledge into the soccer game for the kids, make sure that they have the capabilities in order to move forward with the rec department.
All right. Well, we sure appreciate what y'all have done already in a short period of time, and I think this is a really great initiative for the people who live in the city of Dublin to have these local neighborhood parks available for them and some of the programs that you are working on. So thank you for the work that you guys are doing.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, thank you. So we now have before us the ordinance regarding the regulations for our parks and our setting up the new Parks Department. Do we have any comments regarding this?
Yes, the word in this ordinance was not, I think we were talking about changing it. And I would say that we postpone this till we get that wording did, because once you do this and we vote on this, we want to make sure the wording is right. The wording is right, and we got everything corrected. People read it and be like, oh, this is it, or we forget. So that would be, my motion is that we postpone till we get this wording right, and what we talked about, get it corrected.
All right, so let me, my understanding is that council had a consensus that the current ordinance has an appeal of a denial of any permit to a personnel committee, and that we wanted to change that so that any denial of appeal would be to the entire council, so there would be greater transparency to the public, and the public would have opportunity to comment to all of council. And so if we're okay with doing that, we can have a motion to approve the ordinance with that change.
It was more than that. I also had a problem with the wording that the city manager set these fees without proof, without council approval.
Okay.
He said so a lot of these fees, a lot of this gave him authority to do things without council approval that will come back on council and we'll get the phone calls. So I had a problem with that also.
Okay, so we currently, just from a procedure point of view, and I don't know how the rest of the council feels about that based on our pre-council discussion, but what we have procedurally now is a motion to postpone this matter to our next council date. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is there a second to that motion?
A second.
All right, we have a second to that motion. This is a motion to postpone. Now, if this motion passes, then this ordinance will be postponed to will we have to have another public? We don't have to have another public hearing, is that correct?
We'll do it next meeting.
Yeah, it's only zoning ordinances that you have to have the
Okay.
daily advertisement.
All right, so we would then have this decided at our October second meeting. If the motion fails, then the floor would be open for a motion to amend the ordinance the way we had discussed it, or to approve the ordinance with the change that we had discussed at pre-council. So those are your options here. At this time, on the motion to postpone, that's a verbal vote. It would only be a roll call vote if it's a motion to approve the ordinance. So at this time, if you support, and let's just do it by hand so that we can be clear about it, all those in favor of postponing,
Mayor,
please.
I just want to clarify. So if we approve this, then we're going to change this verbally, but if we don't approve it, we have to go back to the draw.
Okay, yeah, I'll go through the procedure one more time. So currently before us is the ordinance that was printed and in our materials. And I think that there's 100% agreement to change the personnel appeal to a council appeal. But then there's also the issue that Councilman Jones has raised about the setting of fees. And on that basis, he's asked that we postpone this vote until October 2nd, so there's more time to look at the fees
Well, I just want to point out there's no fees in this
No
ordinance.
fees. I just want, a lot of it gave the, a lot of this was at the discretion of city manager. Read it, it says city manager, without council approval at all.
It says
And
the fees for all permits are established by resolution, which is the next one that we're doing.
No,
Yeah.
if you read,
Yeah, I mean,
if
there's
you
no-
sat time, if I'm correct, I brought this up in pre-council. Y'all told me that this was number 8 was why I had my problems at was at where we're at now. I thought it was number 9, but y'all told me it was number 8. So by you telling me it's number 8, that's why I'm bringing it up now, because this is where we're at. My problem with number 9, that we need to go back, because I had a problem because you said that 7 and 9 go together. So now y'all are confusing me with what you said. Now which one is it?
So
And I wrote
the
probably
concern about
item
the
8
appeal
Yeah.
is what's in item number 8,
Yes.
which was, as I understood it in the pre-council meeting, was going to be remedied by just changing that to say to the city council.
Not the personnel.
Right,
To
not
To the
More-
entire council.
So that was number 8, which is the item you're on now.
Yeah.
And I also said, if you read that, I stayed up because we got this late. So I stayed up late last night reading this after I got past Blake 100-some pages of the budget. If I read this and you read this carefully, that's why I say we got this. Council, go back and read this. A lot of this gives the city manager power. It's gonna come back on council, because when you start getting these phone calls about why this is this way, why is this way, the city manager told me this, and the city manager, and I'm not, like I said, I know Josh will let us know what's going on. He's done a good job of doing that. But you get the right city manager, the first thing they're gonna say is, this ordinance told me I get to do this without council approval. And now you're gonna have citizens coming to council saying, well, y'all hire him, why y'all allow him to do this, and your hands are gonna be tied.
But I think that's what they were saying. The argument is that in the next one, it is set by resolution, which does give us the power to change
the
what he
resolution.
sets.
Yeah, so, and let me look very closely at the ordinance that is currently before us. And that ordinance gives the city manager discretion on issuing permits or not issuing permits. And then any appeal from that would come, under what we've agreed, would come to full council. It then says at section 15-64 that permit fees, the fees associated with those permits would be established by resolution of mayor and council, which then takes us to our next item.
Did y'all read it? Y'all read your package?
Yeah,
Did y'all
that's
read that
what
whole?
I'm-
No, I ain't read the summary. Did you read what's in your package?
Yeah,
I went through. I stayed up late. I got it. I was busy when we got this, so I set the time because I knew this was on the agenda. And I went through this late last night after my football game. I got home, took my shower, put my grandbaby to sleep, and I went through this and I read this.
Well,
if
so-
you have not read this, go through your package and read what's in the paperwork.
So Councilman Jones, I'm looking at the ordinance itself, and
There's a motion on the floor. We need to vote.
well, I'm addressing the comments. So the comments are that this establishes discretion in the city manager for setting fees related to the parks. And section 15-64 says permit fees contemplated herein are established by resolution of the mayor and council. So that's the only place in this ordinance that addresses fees, to my understanding. Now, I think that the section that you may have an issue with is in the next ordinance, where it says that the city manager has discretion on setting certain fees. So, all right, so are there any other comments at this time? All right, if there are no comments, there'll be a vote on the motion to postpone this. So all in favor of postponing the ordinance before us to the October 2nd meeting, please raise your hand. All right, all those opposed to postponing this, please raise your hand. All right, so on a 4-to-1 vote, that motion fails, and so the floor is open for another motion at this time.
Make a motion for approval.
All right, now is this with or without the change on the?
With the changes.
All right, so this would be a motion to approve this ordinance with the change that any appeal goes to city council and not to the personnel committee. Is that correct?
correct.
All right, so we now have on the floor a motion to approve this with that one change. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
All right, so we have a motion from Councilman Griggs, a second from Councilman Mascara. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, if there is no discussion on the motion, Mr. Daniels, would please call the roll.
No.
Councilwoman Guthrie.
Yes.
Councilwoman Caldwell.
Yes.
Councilman Griggs.
Yes.
Councilman Muscara.
Yes.
Ordinance passes.
All right, so this ordinance passes, and again, thank you to Ms. Simmons for the work that you've done on this and to the rest of staff for putting this together. We'll now move to item number 9 on the agenda, which is the establishing the fee schedule. So the fee schedule has specific fees listed for a large number of items. There are a small number of items that allow the city manager the discretion to set the fee. Of course, as our city attorney discussed with us in pre-council, that is not an open discretion. It has to be based on actual cost to the city. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Mr.
It's set out in the state statute, so it gives you guidelines what you can and cannot do. That's correct.
Okay. All right, so at this time, can we have the second reading of the,
This is just a resolution.
that's right, the resolution 2545. Will you please read the resolution, then we'll move to discussion.
This is Resolution 2545, a resolution of the City of Dublin, Georgia, by and through its mayor and council, adopting and establishing a schedule of fees for the City of Dublin, to provide for authority to establish other fees, provide for authority for enforcement and implementation, and to set an effective date. This is, as discussed, all the fees that were now effectively taken out of the code through the ordinance, 2 ordinances back. This will establish them by resolution as is provided for in that ordinance.
All right, so you have in front of you the resolution and the list of fees. That list is, I understand Mr. Groover is compliant with state law?
It is.
All right. Do we have a motion on this?
Make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, so we have a motion from Councilman Colby, a second from Councilman Mascara. Is there any discussion on this motion?
So my opposition was with number 9 instead of number 8. I'm trying, okay, no problem.
All right.
No.
And my understanding, based on our comments today, is that, and just to be very specific about it, because I understand where you're coming from on this, is that there are certain fees in here that say as determined by city manager. And at this time, we don't know what those fees are going to be, and the council is not setting those fees. And I understand that your objection to that is that you would like for those fees to be known. And I don't know, Mr. Powell has told us that before he establishes any new fees, he will come back to council and discuss those with us. But all of those fees, even the ones that he set, will have to be within the range allowed by state law and would be based on the particular circumstances of whatever that application might be. Is that correct, Mr. Powell?
That's correct, yes.
All right. Any other comments or discussion? All right. If not, do we have, let's see, we have a motion and a second. All right. So all those in favor of the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
If any are opposed, nay.
Nay.
All right. The resolution passes. We'll now move to item number 10 on the agenda, which is discussion and action on a declaration of surplus. Mr. Powell.
We have several items. It's listed as 5 items in your backup materials, but the last is a myriad of particular items, including wiper blades, tarp rope, and tape tar, meter swivel set, and various size clamps. But the larger units are a pickup truck from solid waste, a garbage truck from solid waste, a dump truck from water distribution, and a lot of time clocks that we are no longer using. So we're asking that you declare those surplus so we can auction them off.
All right. Under our guidelines, the city council has to approve the surplusing of any property of the city of Dublin. So do we have a motion?
I have a question.
Yes.
And Mr. Gruber, maybe you can help me with this. With this stuff like the wiper blades and rope and tarp and stuff like that, instead of sending that to gov deals, is there a way that we can like yard sale, have a yard sale or something to get rid of that without, because you're talking about sending all you sending brand new wiper blades, tarp, rope, stuff like that, and clamps. I understand the big items like the trucks and all that, but sending little stuff like that,
Does it have to
do that in-house, like a little yard, something like that.
What are the legal requirements on surplus property, if you know that offhand?
You have to, once you declare surplus, you have to give everybody an equal opportunity to purchase of what you're going to buy. So I don't know exactly how we do that.
I don't think it necessarily has to go through Gov Deals.
Right.
That's just one.
Know what I'm saying? I'm just
Because the
talking
housing authority
about.
didn't send their surplus to,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not talking about. I know the big trucks and all that. Yeah, but these little items here, we could make it public, and I mean, this is stuff that the public can come and might first come first serve, and I mean, cause that's a waste of
Gotta
time.
staff that.
That's a waste of time just sending. I looked at that; they were brand new wiper blades and stuff.
Well, we could you say it's a waste of time, but that would require staff to organize an event that we host and do ourselves versus using Gov Deals, which just, I mean, the local public can bid on Gov Deals as well. It's not limited to just, taking into account what you're saying, I can talk with our purchasing director who handles the surplus items about, whatever ways we can see about doing that.
I'm okay.
just
I'm
locally.
talking about the big items. I'm okay with the trucks.
No,
and
I know what you're
time
saying.
clocks, yeah.
I understand, and I don't disagree with you. I'm just,
because the
I'll have
housing
to look
authority
into
did
what it will
that
take.
with the refrigerators and stoves that they replaced, and they just put it in the newspaper and Facebook, and they sold a lot of those appliances.
So the main thing that we need to make sure is that whatever we do is
the public.
is open to the
Right.
public, according to our city attorney, as long as it's equally available to members of the public, then whatever method is fine. So our purchasing director who handles surplus sales is David Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will take this as council requesting that the city manager speak with Mr. Sawyer about alternative ways of disposing of some of this minor property. Is that fair?
So can we approve this?
We could.
Yeah.
I'm a with proving one
Yeah.
through four. One through four.
Well,
The
so-
big items I'm with approving. The
Well,
big ones.
either way, you still need to declare it all surplus.
Yeah.
So it
Oh,
can
we
be
got to
sold.
declare it surplus and then handle it. Okay.
We'll handle the methodology.
Okay.
So-
Gotcha.
So we don't actually, just making sure I understand this, as council, we don't direct how it gets sold. We just declare it surplus and then the rest happens. All right. So do we have a motion to declare these items as surplus? All right. So we have a motion from Councilman Jones. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Griggs. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it. That brings us to item number 11, which is discussion and action on board appointments. We have an opening on the Dublin Lawrence County Development Authority. This is the Economic Development Authority. The term of Dr. Fred Williams has expired, and it's our duty to fill that term or fill that position. So at this time, I'd like to nominate Benjamin G. Cochran II, who is a resident of Dublin. I think most people know Ben Cochran. He was an outstanding quarterback for the Dublin High School football team not too many years ago. He moved back to Dublin after an outstanding career in the United States Air Force, where he was an F-16 fighter pilot and then an instructor of other F-16 fighter pilots. He has moved back to Dublin, is working as the Chief Operating Officer for the Friendly Gus food stores. And as I said, he and his family, he's, I think, got 4 kids. They live in Dublin, and he is excited about the opportunity to serve his community in this way. So that is my nomination, but this requires an act of council. So if there's a motion from council.
Could you please share about his father resigning?
That's correct. So his father, Guy Cochran, is currently on the Development Authority, but council has indicated that, of course, it's not appropriate for 2 members of the same family to serve on a board like this. So his father will be resigning from the board prior to the next Development Authority meeting, so that Ben can take that seat.
And that you
long
will
is this term?
collaborate with,
Excuse me?
and you will collaborate with the county?
Oh, right. So
Okay.
Guy Cochran's seat is a joint appointment between the city and the county. So once that resignation takes effect, then we will have to work with the county to find a mutually agreeable appointment to that. And that will occur before the next Development Authority meeting, so that that seat will be full. We spoke with Ms. Chain, who's in the audience today. She's a county commissioner. I understand that that the county administrator, Mr. Rogers, will be speaking with her and other county commissioners And as well as, if we have any names from our side, we'll get together and discuss those to get that appointment filled. Any discussion at this time?
This will be for 4 years.
It's a 4-year term.
Make a motion for approval.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion from Councilman Griggs to approve. We have a second from Councilman Colby.
His term begins now, 'cause I think the other term ran out June 30th.
Yeah, it will go through June 30th of
2029.
2029.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you have a conversation with Dr. Fred Williams regarding this?
He and I have discussed this previously. We didn't discuss this particular appointment, but we've discussed the fact that his term was ending. Yeah, and he was aware of all that.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it. I'm looking forward to working with Ben Cochran on economic development for our community. That concludes our regular agenda items. This time, we'll open the floor for citizens' comments. I see that we have Ms. Wright on the front row ready for our citizens' comments. Just for everybody's benefit, everybody gets treated equally here. We have a 3-minute clock. Mr. Daniels will start the clock at the end of 3 minutes. Your time is up, and we're welcome to receive any comments related to the City of Dublin at this time.
Good afternoon, citizens of Dublin. I, Jacqueline Denise Jadon Wright of 501 South Church Street, bid you greetings. I would like to first take the time to thank all citizens in Dublin who made my 67th birthday an amazing success. Secondly, I would like to state that I have had the opportunity to partner with the Courier Herald recently and saw firsthand communities in East Dublin and, of course, South Fair Dublin. I must say we as a community of people in Dublin are taking pride in the cleanliness of our streets, removal of debris, and beautification of our homes and businesses. But there is work to be done. Keeping drains clear of leaves and trash is a must. If your neighbor wants to collect cars and junk in their yards, there are ordinances. There used to be an ordinance that fined the owner for a stray dog, and then that dog was put to death. There are seniors who could keep their yards mowed and trash, but now computer. There are seniors, oh Lord, and my time's running. There are seniors who in their prime could keep their yards moved, trash picked up, but now's the time that together we stand and help our neighbors out. More importantly, keep your yard and sheds free of debris. Recently, we were made aware of our school system dilemma, and although it's not the council's problem, it's a problem to look into and how our tax monies went and to whose computer was the recipient. An internal audit by outside accounting firm will definitely show where the funds ended up. With the change in weather, it's time to fall into place. The seasons of Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas are upon us. Let us strive together, and I mean together, to keep Dublin a safe, quiet city to live in. Upon watching WMAZ newscast Wednesday morning, I heard about criminal funds being used to fund police requests and district attorney needs. I wonder, instead of SPLOST funds and grants, that our city funds cannot be used for this purpose. Maybe the chief of police, the city manager, and district attorney can use these funds as Houston County did. And finally, I close with this. Jesus said, here I stand, won't you please let me in? And you said, I will tomorrow. Jesus said, I am he who supplies all your needs. And you said, I know tomorrow I'll give my life tomorrow. I thought about today, but it's so much easier to say tomorrow. Who promised you tomorrow? Better choose the Lord today. for tomorrow very well, might be trying.
Thank you, Ms. Wright.
Thank you.
All right. This opportunity for public comment. Anyone else would like to make a comment? Yes, Mr. Hall.
That's kind of hard to follow up on. My name is John Hall. I live across the street, 307 West Gaines. I do business with a couple of business owners on the Madison Street here, and I've gotten a couple of comments and conversations from them about the Madison Street project. First of all, I think it looks great. I'm glad to see they're putting bricks near the First National Bank building. That's a great historical deal there. But let's see here. I was told that it's been going on for a year, 1.5 years to get it done. And I saw something on the internet as far as the total budget for the project. I don't know, 3.9 million, something like that. But I have a couple of questions. Actually, I think 3. What was the original cost estimate for the project? I'd like to know to be able to compare what it was when it was initially brought forth and where it is now. Number 2, I understand that a South Carolina contractor was hired with the lowest bid to do this project. And then I was told that apparently the contractor was using somebody else's insurance or something like that. And obviously the work wasn't getting done. And then the company up on in the Page House now is doing it now. So I just wonder what kind of due diligence was done on the first contractor. I mean, I'm a businessman, I'm a CPA, and I work with businesses all the time. And just like to know what kind of due diligence was done. If this was no good, did you know it up front or did you figure it out later? The last thing is compensation for these poor business people that are on Madison. I talked to one this morning. I was just walking my dog, and it has really hurt his business. There's a couple that things have happened, and, you know, the city is supposed to look after all the citizens. And if you got citizens that own businesses there, I mean, they've been hurt by this. So I just wonder if the city has an intention of compensating them in some form or fashion. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. And if you'd like to stay after the meeting or schedule a time to come in, we can get the answers to those questions for you. And I will say that all of those concerns are things that are shared by myself and council members. Sometimes solutions to difficult problems are not easy or quick, but I just want you to know that we have been and are working on all of those issues. But for details, please stay around or schedule an appointment. We'll get you the detailed information. All right, any other public comments at this time? Yes.
I have no comment for what's going on right now. I just wanted to know who's the chief of police of Dublin Department. Because I asked for every police officer that was on the scene on the 16th. For all polices that badge numbers, they ignore me, caused my grandson to have seizures by shoving him in the car, like they're having a hard time. I don't understand it, so I want to know the chief of police name and all badges that was on the scene on 215 Outlet Street, Apartment B, as of the 16th of this month.
Okay, and just something that we always ask for people making public comments.
My name is Jonathan Guyton. I stay on 215 Outlet Street, Apartment B, Dublin, Georgia, 31330.
Okay, so just to answer your question, the what I can answer is that our chief of police is Keith Moon, and that if you would like to, I think that you've made a verbal.
I've already met with Mr. Guyton. He is at a conference right now, and we'll be back in the office tomorrow, and is planning to contact you tomorrow.
You'll be contacting me tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's only one more question. I don't understand that they're gonna close down the voting at the park down here. I don't know the name of it. All I know, they redesigned the road to go on a circle and never straight through anymore. Are they going to change the election poll site there?
Actually, our clerk is not here right now, but my understanding is the voting will occur at the Stubbs gym as always.
Yeah.
So there'll be no change to the voting for this upcoming voting session.
All right, thank you.
All right. Any other public comments? Thank you, Mr. Guyton. Any other public comments? All right. If there are no other public comments, we are actually going to need to go into executive session to discuss legal options with potential litigation, legal options with our city attorney. But before we go into executive session, I'd like to give an opportunity for our council members to make any public comments that you'd like to. So we'll start with you, Mr. Groover. Any comments? Mr. Daniels? All right, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. And I guess my biggest concern is the environment that we're living in today with our political environment, what's going on. We see what's going on around the world. It seems like we have a problem agreeing to disagree. But I often tell people the first conversation we have when I first meet a person is that we're not going to agree on everything. We're going to agree to disagree on some things, but we shouldn't fall out about that. We shouldn't resort to violence or anything like that. You get mad. Some people you may think you may have a problem with, you just take a conversation, maybe a misunderstanding, or sometimes you don't like that person because somebody else don't like them and you're close to them. But we as a community, as a whole, I see a lot of politics getting out. I often say it's two places that politics should not be, and that's in church, because you got the Bible to tell you what to do, and you go talking about education of kids. It should be what's best for the kids and what's best for the community, and not so. But we've seen politics get involved and churches get involved in everything, and it shouldn't be involved. And people want this and that. I get mad because of this right here, but all I'm asking that we all just come together, love, have that conversation. Sometimes we get, but we don't want to have that tough conversation. I tell people I welcome the tough conversation, because that's what I really find out. I may learn something. People are scared to have that tough conversation. It's going to be some tough conversation that may be hard on this side or hard on that side, but the conversation need to be had. Even for us, our healing here in Dublin, in Lawrence County, let's not act like everything is fine. I mean, I often say we try to hide what we got, a lot of stuff that we have underscore. Do we have a race problem? Yes, but it's not as bad as other people. We're not, we're not making national news. We're not beating down folks, but there needs to be a conversation had with a lot of things that's going on. So all I ask is that let's not be afraid to reach out to the neighbor across that look different from you, or might not socialize, not be in your circle. Reach across and let's have that conversation. Sit down, go to lunch. Let's not be afraid to. The best way to find out about a person, I heard my parents often say, is when you eat with a person, have a meal with them. You tell them what may come out. And one of my favorite quotes, we often quote Dr. King and a lot of things that he say, but I find this quote from him, and I find it to be true. If you really want to be a leader, a community servant, I often say, he said, we need leaders that's not in love with money, but in love with justice. Not in love with publicity, but in love with humanity. That's all we need right now. If you're going to be a leader, even the Bible say, in order to be a leader, you must be a servant first. And we have to take that mentality and let's start serving from up here all the way to the back. So let's serve and let's love each other. Let's get back to loving each other. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments, Councilman Jones. Councilman Godfrey.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes.
I would just like to say, to remind you all that Sonny D. Wilkes is having his first responders lunch at the Dublin Church of God from noon to 5 this Saturday. Also, there is a National Cleanup Day, and I say national, not just the city of Dublin. And the people at Keep Dublin Lawrence Beautiful board wanted me to remind you all of that. So if anybody is doing any type of cleanup efforts, you can take pictures and submit those to Keep Dublin Lawrence Beautiful. And lastly, we're rocking the block at starting at Unity Point all the way down to the Oconee Gym for the ribbon cutting that was happened on October the 2nd. If anybody wants to get involved, you can talk to me, or you can talk to Ms. Sharon Evelyn or Josh Powell. But we're rocking the block, and we're going to clean up all the way to the Oconee Gym. So thank you. And thank you, Mayor.
Thank you for those comments, Councilman Godfrey. Councilman Colby.
Well, I'm just excited to see everybody here as the city of Dublin continues to grow and prosper. We want to ensure that our citizens and those who are developing here within the city of Dublin have the ease of having all these fees in a single place, and also ensure that transparency is one of our highest priorities for those citizens and those people who are wanting to invest here. We understand that as growth happens, we need to make adjustments, and so we're excited to see some of that progress today. I do want to say that the Madison Street project has seemed very, very long. I have several friends that have businesses along that route, and I definitely empathize with their plight there. But I do want to say that that Madison Street project was projected to be over a year long, and it was grant funds that are beautifying that area that's going to make those businesses hopefully more prosperous in the future, but also give them better access points to additional customers. So the very best thing that we can do for our Madison Street friends who have businesses is to visit them and purchase items from them as often as we can during this hard time as we complete this project, but also to share alternate routes, as our city manager has done a wonderful job of sharing that with our downtown merchants of when roads are going to be closed and for how long, and making those announcements as soon as possible. So as we see roads close and open and different routes need to be taken, we can wave people in and we can share that on social media as to new alternate routes to these businesses. I had to wave somebody in the other day to my favorite little coffee shop, Mission Bake Shop. The other day I had to stand on the corner there at 5 Points Way and wave them in because it was difficult to get to. But let's continue to support those businesses, especially during our Downtown Merchants Week, which is this week. So again, I just thank you so much for being here and making Dublin a better place to live.
Thank you, Councilman Colby. Councilman Griggs.
No additional comments.
Councilman Mosquera.
Hey, just want to thank everybody for coming out. Like I've said a lot, you coming and sitting in this room gives us ideas. We hear you and we learn from it. I spoke to the mayor yesterday. I want to start by saying this. I love this community. And I've been blessed in the last 20 years of my life to serve our country, to serve our state, to serve our county, and to serve our city. And I think that the council that sits before you today has done a tremendous job pushing our community forward. We've done a lot in a little bit of time. We've worked well together. We've not always agreed. And it's one of the proudest things I think I've ever done in my life. And I echo some of what Benny was saying, and I agree. I've said that pledge thousands of times in my life. And indivisible is one of the strongest points of inflection in the Pledge of Allegiance. And I've watched political division and self-interest slow projects and progress in our town that ultimately hurts our community. I've watched our community be divided by people that are full of opinions that have no desire to work, and criticisms based on those self-interests. And it has gotten to the point that people cannot be reasoned with. I've watched small groups in our communities create wedges for all of us. And I've grown angry. I have watched people that I love very much go the other way when they see me. I have gone the other way when I've seen people that I love very much because I was too angry to talk to them. And I believe in being a leader of intent. And this community is unbelievably important to me. I have served on this city council for almost 4 years. I've watched some great strides happen. We've made some great hires recently. Banish, I love your name, man. That's such a cool name. I've watched our staff grow and learn, and I've been proud of it. And I woke up on Sunday, and keep in mind, I never wanted to run for more than one term. I've said that from the beginning. But I saw the group of candidates that were going to come to the table, and I had concerns for our community, serious concerns, because a lot of those are the same people sowing division in our community. And I will say that out loud. We have worked our butts off on this city council to do the best that we can for our community. I ran on people-focused growth 4 years ago. When I started to feel that it wasn't about the people for me anymore, I made the decision. On Tuesday, I walked into Heather's office and decided to withdraw from the race. And I did that not lightly, but because I didn't want to affect in anger, and I didn't want to see people and find reasons to dislike them, because that is not how I'm built. What I will tell you is in this race, there were 4 likely candidates. 3 of them are incumbents, and I'm withdrawing my candidacy. The biggest thing our community needs is a bridge builder. I Facebook stalked Ben Lanier the other day. He is the only other person besides the 3 incumbents that sit here with a logical outcome. And I trust him to work hard and to build the bridge between our city and our city school system. I think that will parlay us into the right direction. And so I endorse Ben, and I endorse Tess, and I endorse Sarah. This is hard. But we've got to grow. Because if you think it's bad now, listen to some of the politics of the people that are running. We will be further divided. People will leave our town. They will seek respite somewhere else. I can guarantee you that. Keep coming to these meetings. Keep being involved. I'm not going to stop serving. I've not stopped serving since I've been here. Anybody that votes for someone for any other reason than their politics, you should only vote for someone because of their politics, not the way that they look, not their orientation, anything other than what they believe to be true. And with that, I'm grateful to be here. And this is a hard conversation, and I'm a little emotional, but I love this town. And if I'm going to be a part of that wedge, then I don't want to be in leadership. And so, so I hope you guys go out and vote. I hope you get to it, because this town needs good leaders. And I appreciate my 4 years. So that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Councilman Mosquera. And at this time, do we have a motion to close the meeting to go into executive session?
I make a motion.
We have a motion from Councilman Colby. Do we have a second? Second from Councilman Jones. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. We will now close this meeting and move into executive session.